Payne?
Good evening. Rhode Island City Council Committee meeting, February 5th, 2025, 5:30 p.m. Request that mobile phones and electronic devices be silent. Public Safety Committee, call to order.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Establish a quorum. Item 2. Item 3, roll call.
Mr. Payne?
Here.
Mrs. Joseph?
Here.
Ms. Gordon?
Here.
Mr. President?
Item 4, Police Department, Chief Initial.
So in the month of January, we had 239 calls, which was 49 alarm calls, 15 assisted without the fire department, 2 harassing calls, 4 suspicious persons, 2 miscellaneous, 13 disturbances, 5 thefts, 2 property losses stolen, 4 hit and runs, 6 remaining after identification, 3 damage to property, 1 traffic stop, 3 shots fired, 3 official warning out of return, 7 suspicious activities, 12 checked persons, 1 death, 41 medical calls, 1 911 hang-up, 3 frauds, 1 traffic complaint, 1 robbery, 2 criminal damage or mischief, 1 assist of law enforcement agents, 3 domestics, 27 information calls, 3 noise complaints, 1 battery, 1 missing persons, 2 suspicious vehicles, 1 vehicle bird, 2 animal calls, 1 assist person, and we had a total of 8 arrests, which was 2 disturbing the peace by drunkenness, 1 attempted second-degree murder, 1 battery of a dating partner, 1 domestic, 1 simple assault, 1 simple criminal damage to property, 1 remaining, 2 thefts, 1 illegal carrying of a weapon, 1 possession of a firearm or carrying by felon, 1 open container, 1 violation of protective order, 1 prohibited acts, 1 possession of a Schedule 1 marijuana with the intent to distribute, 1 PACO 1831 owner responsible of dogs and cats, with a total of 10 traffic crash, 3 private, and a total of 42 traffic tickets.
That's the more ticket we ever had.
Huh?
That's the more ticket we ever had, Ring.
They're doing good. Any other questions?
Agenda 5, hear from Ms. Brown regarding public safety concerns.
Is Tita Brown here?
She's
She's
full
probably
of
coming, she was working at the restaurant, that's how it's like, so.
Have you heard from her?
She
I'm
pulled
going on
some.
that.
Okay, you said she couldn't. Okay.
We can come back to it, can
We can suspend the committee and we can come back. So we don't have to adjourn that. No, you don't have to. We can move on to Public Works Committee.
we? Okay. Public Work Committee, call to order. Establish a quorum. Roll call, please.
Ms. Gordon?
Here.
Mr. Payne?
Here.
Ms. King?
Here.
Mr. President?
Item number 4, discuss final change order, pay app number 3, and substantial completion for 2024 Rural Rehabilitation Program Phase 13. Mr.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank y'all. Of course, we have a contractor in town Track that has completed his roads, and he did Oregon, Michigan, and Avenue A. I invite y'all to please, ride down if you see anything. I didn't really have anything to put on their punch list, and basically, I'd like these to be put on the council meeting and, approved at the next council meeting. The first item is the change order. This is basically a cost adjustment change order, which you always do at the end of these type of contracts. This particular change order is a decrease in the amount of $13,907.40. So I asked John to put that on the agenda.
Okay.
The next item is their pay app, which is going to be pay app number 3, which is in the amount of $48,654. I'll say that all these pay apps at this point, you still have their retainage, which on this project their retainage is roughly $32,000. Do you have any issues? And then, I already mentioned the substantial completion. So those are the 3 items that we'd like to see on the agenda next week. Any questions on any of those, y'all?
So you would like to see the punch list for the next meeting?
Well, if somebody has something, I'd like to put it on there. I will say, if you miss something, obviously the substantial just starts their warranty period, so it's not, if you don't find something, it's not the end of the world. We can still add it to their, to things they've got to do. And again, once you give them substantial, then they file the clear lien, and it's 45 days before they can even apply for their last $30,000. So you have quite a while to add or do stuff. But these were fairly simple projects, mill and overlay, and they seem to look pretty good. Any questions on any of that, yeah?
I don't have a question, but I would like to say thank you to Mr. Garcia for going out. I think he talked with Mr. Payne, Councilman Payne, a couple days ago.
Yes, they
within a
did come
week.
out.
So I want to thank him for going out, and we will see from there. We're not
Yeah.
sure if we're
It
satisfied
needs to
yet,
rain, I know.
but right.
I did run some water, but it needs to rain.
Right.
Yeah, I understand. And, there's not that many asphalt contractors, and so you see a lot of the same people all the time, so they certainly don't want to leave a client unsatisfied.
Right.
So, if we need to do something else, I'm sure we will. That's all I had on that. We also have, I think I had asked to do an update on the wastewater, and I also wanted to sneak in an update on some grants that y'all typically apply for. Tomorrow morning, the mayor and I and BJ are going to basically do the final inspection for the railroad lift station, and then hopefully the next meeting you will never, hopefully you'll never see that bypass pump on LA1 again. Knock on wood. Everything appears to be working, and we're excited to move on to other projects. The grants that y'all need to, if you want to apply for them, need to pass resolutions, and y'all have done this in the past, is the LGAP, and which typically it can go for water, drainage, roads. It's not limited. And you apply for it, you ask for what you want, and then they give you however much money is left in their kitty. It's basically $50,000 if you get it all. Then also you have a CWEF grant, which that is just for water. And again, you apply, whatever the amount is. These are typically grants that you always get something. So I very much encourage y'all to apply. In the past, we used to do like a specific project, but now we leave it more generic. So if you have something in your, you have to pick a thing, whether it's drainage or sewer or whatever, but you don't have to say, I'm replacing this particular pump or anything like that. And I've got the resolutions, but it's got the previous mayor's name on it, so I'll get this corrected and get it back to you. Any questions on any of that, y'all?
That's an agenda item two, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be two separate ones, one for the LGAP and one for the CUF. That's all I had. Thank y'all.
Adjourn.
You want to go back to your public safety committee?
So we'll go back to the Public Safety Committee, hear from Ms. Brown regarding public safety concerns. Maybe 3 minutes per person.
My name is Augustine Brown. I am a citizen of Port Allen all my life. I had a lot of calls concerning a matter with an officer, Lieutenant Kendra Wisher. I contacted our new chief. I also contacted our new mayor. I set up an appointment with our new mayor, and when I got up here on Thursday at 3 o'clock, Ms. Gordon was in there, the city hall, the city lawyer, and Mr. Mitchell. Well, I set up the appointment with the mayor, and I think I deserve to get a call and say he wasn't going to meet with me, or somebody else was going to meet with me. I came up here expecting to meet with the mayor, and you didn't call me or respond and say, Tina, you're going to meet with Chief, Ms. Gordon. The next day I did call Ms. Gordon, and I asked her, how did you get to come to the meeting? Well, I know I had spoke with Greg, and she said Greg asked me to come because he's over public safety. And I had jotted some stuff down, but now I'm going to speak from my heart, because we have an officer that got on social media on a Friday night and post. I'm going to give you a copy of the rules and regulations too. I wanted y'all to have it. Now I'm going to give you a copy of the post. That I didn't see the post, but a lot of people started screenshotting it to me. And they said this is unacceptable from a lieutenant that's been on the police force over 15 years. And I feel like she put our chief in a bad position. Someone that just got elected, she really put our chief in a bad position. But I'm going to pass this out. This is to you all, what she posts, because I want y'all to see this. I have some people passing it out in the audience too. When I spoke to the city lawyer, she said, well, that's her personal page. What do you want to happen? I said, I think the citizens really do deserve an apology. I said, what I want to happen, I want to know what the chief is going to do about it. I want to see, because people are calling me. And after that, he said, well, I reprimanded her. I gave her a warning. Well, I feel that the rules and regulations is a warning. I really do. But for her to go on social media, on her personal page, the rules and regulations do state on page 4 about being an officer and going on social media. And I feel like she was targeted towards my family. She mentioned that Mr. Derek Lewis, alleged victim, that my nephew is sitting in jail right now on attempted murder charge from 7 months ago.
As he should.
At 7 months ago.
As he should.
Well, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. 7 months ago, and it's brought back up. You're saying Mr. Derek Lewis is a good guy. Well, I feel like my nephew is a good guy too. I feel that too. And you brought up an open case on social media saying he's a good guy, he's single. Mr. Lewis is still legally married. He's not divorced yet. If you want a date, I could set you up. I could set you up with a date. And you say you Port Allens. You're including everybody. When you say you Port Allens, you're saying you Port Allens. And you say if the shoe fit, lace it up and wear it, bitch. Well, I laced it up today. I laced it up with my boots on. Because I'm coming to the city and I want something done about it. I want to know, what did she just get? What did she get? Because she just didn't deserve a warning. And I go hard behind my family. Then you continue to say with your low-life asses. Well, who are you talking about? You're a lieutenant. You should have stated the name. Because I would have had a problem if you would have stated my name. Because see, I've changed my life. This Augustine Tina Brown has changed her life. And she really could have started something. You had people going under there commenting, F this and F this. And if I or my family was to ever get into trouble, I don't want Lieutenant Worship no around my residence.
I don't blame you.
I don't want her around my residence because she really could have started something. She really could. It's not acceptable. She broke the rules and the regulations. I want it recorded with the city. I'm going to take it further. It don't stop here. It don't stop here because, like I said, it's an ongoing investigation. It's an ongoing case. And my nephew, behind a fight that is charged with, and you know, no police officer was back at the park. No police officer after that hour. I have questions about that because they have rules. They have rules when you go to the park about police officers. They have rules about liquor. When I went over there, I knew it was going to be something because they had enough liquor to serve a bar. They had enough liquor at Mr. Lewis SUV to serve the whole party back there. And I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair. And I want something done about it. I hate to put the police in this, but Donovan, you're doing a great job, but I had to come and speak on this. And you know I contacted you every time. I turned to my nephew when I told you I was going to turn him because we ain't going to run and we ain't going to hide. And I've been in Port Allen. Everybody knows my family. For this young lady to get on social media and she's a lieutenant, why they do that? When you know better, you do better. And obviously she don't know better. And that's all I got to say, but I want it recorded. And thank you, Greg, for taking my call. And thank you, Ms. Gordon, for listening.
I want to speak on that. I did set the meeting up with you, and I do apologize. But other things happened that was beyond my control. I am not just a mayor. I am still the positions that I was before I campaigned and before I ran and before I even got elected to the mayor position. So I will apologize for that. But the only thing that I could do as far as in the meeting anyway is what I'm doing now and is listening to your complaint because that falls under Chief Mitchell. He's elected just like I am. So I will apologize for not attending the meeting because I had other things that had a deadline and that's the only reason why I was not there. But I was told that you were informed of that by 2 other people.
Yeah, apology accepted. The next day I called Ms. Gordon and she made me aware that you had some other things. But I was expecting when I came at 3 o'clock, I was expecting to meet with you, Terry. And it's nothing against you because this young man I'm talking about, that's your nephew.
I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Any questions?
Call to order, establish a forum, roll call.
Mrs. Joseph.
President.
Ms. Gordon.
Here.
Mr. Hubble. Here. One for president.
Discuss to establish a $2,000 maximum city. This is really got to me. I have
Got
to
to
say
read it
something.
first.
Okay. To establish, I have something to say. I do. Before I go on, I have something to say. This has really went too far.
What are you talking about, Ms. Joseph?
I'm talking about this matter. This has really went too far.
What man?
What Ms. Brown just explained herself. This has really went too far.
You moved on for that.
If you have talked to the, come back up, Ms. Brown. We have not been in office this long for all this to be going on. And for this to get blown way out of proportion like this, something really has to be ceased and desist. And it needs to end tonight. We are a community, not to be fussing and fighting like this. It's an end to some of this. It's got to be an end to some of this. Now, we all got to get along. Unless this community will not stand. Now, I don't know if you're going to get a public apology from her or not. But the chief have talked to her, he reprimanded her. But at some point, we going to all have, maybe not be friends, but get along.
But I don't think I'll get an apology because a young lady asked me not to bring it to the city. And she said, I know Kendra. And if I go and talk to Kendra, would you not bring it? And I said, I don't know. We're talking about my family now. She went to Kendra, and Kendra said, I'm not apologizing because I didn't do nothing.
But we all have changed, and we all have Christ in our lives. So change don't change till we all change. And some of us got to change somewhere. We got to be the bigger person.
And I think it should start with the Lieutenant Busher. I mean, she needs to be the bigger person. Because see, she took an oath to serve and protect us. And I don't feel like she has violated. She knew the rules, she knew the regulations.
Okay.
But she could get on Facebook and say she's co-captain, a captain, and lieutenant. Lieutenants don't act like that.
Okay, but he have reprimanded her. But at this point, let the chief deal with his office. Because we can't step over him.
I'm not trying to step over. I know the citizens want to know what happened. Or the citizens are calling me. Many people are calling me to know what happened. Now I'm gonna say it in front of everybody. Tonight when I leave this meeting, it will be posted on my page.
Okay.
Everything she said. Because I think the rest of the citizens need to know about Lieutenant Busher.
Okay, but that's your right. That's your
Ms.
right.
Brown.
Yes.
Not me to cut you off. And I understand that you're upset. And I read the post myself just now. And technically, the person that should be really mad and upset is Derek Lewis because he called out her name. I mean, she called out his name. I mean, low-life asses. I don't consider myself a low-life ass.
I
I'm from
don't
Florida.
either. I don't consider myself, but it's an open case, and she called his name, and she was wrong.
But she didn't mention your family name.
She didn't
in here.
mention my family name.
So we don't know.
But she
like
said he's
me,
single,
what if
and
someone-
he's
But
not
that's
single.
okay, but she
That's
can
my
say
nephew's mother, who he's married to.
understand
So
that.
that is my family.
I understand that,
Okay.
Tina, but I'm saying is, if she say he's single, his
And
wife
she-
ain't complaining about it,
And
so
what
why
made her
y'all
so
complaining
upset?
about it?
Maybe you can answer this. Answer this. What made her so upset to go out this and post something about Derek Lewis, ex-mayor? I could have went out there and posted a lot of stuff, but I didn't. Because I'm bigger than that.
That's her
So that's
choice.
why I'm coming to the city.
I understand
And I know
what you're
that
saying.
we all have to get along.
Right,
But
that's
when it
what
comes to
I'm
my
saying.
family, I'm going to speak up.
Okay. Thank you, Tina.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Discuss establish a $2,000 maximum contribution for any corporation endeavor agreement.
For the corporate endeavor agreement, this is something that the council discussed before the new council came here. Normally, we do have groups that come before us to sponsor various things, and we have limited amount of dollars within our budgets. And the city has events and activities that they would like to sponsor or co-sponsor. And it kind of gets into that and the things that we want to do as a city. So we want to try to help everybody, but we want to spread it out. It almost as though we become a granting agency rather than just a city that's trying to do things within the community, especially in community development wise and economic development wise. So we are trying to put a limit on what groups can ask for. And that's why we had the $2,000 up there. And we would like to get the opinion of the council and get them to act on it. It has no reflection on what has already been approved. That's a done deal. But if we're talking about moving forward for next year's budget so that we can budget out and then hopefully we'll have a certain category that's allotted to us and when it's gone, it's gone.
Well, if we approve this 2,000, can it go forward immediately instead of next budget?
Can you go what, ma'am?
If we approve it, the $2,000
It'll start in
in
July.
June. Okay, right. Okay.
What's already been approved has already been approved.
Okay.
So you're not bringing, if we approve some more than that for another group, that's already allotted for. We just talked about next year.
Fiscal year.
Right,
This
the
year,
next
yeah.
fiscal year starting in July.
Okay.
So we would like to make that an item, if it's possible, that y'all can act on it in next council.
Yeah.
Okay?
Update the community development activity.
Yeah, we're kind of busy. We want to make things a little short. I know we like to have an essay explaining things, but we do have a lot that's going on. Of course, y'all know this weekend, Save Our Sons has its History Month parade. We got a little behind on the things we're going to do, but we are going to recognize some of our outstanding people doing Black History Month, the things that they've done throughout the community. And we're so excited because we'll be partnering with Councilman Joseph in doing our Easter Bunny Hop. So that's coming up for the city. Meanwhile, there's a lot of things going on in the museum, a lot of things going on in the library, but I don't want to prolong the meeting anymore. And that's about it unless I can answer any questions. I'm going to start you with your question, comment. You want to say something? Yeah. Yes, ma'am. We get signed up to talk. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, to the mayor, to the council, and the city. Thank you all for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you all today. Just in passing, I've had conversations, I guess not as a concerned citizen, but we have great leadership in place. I mean, we have a new council. For me, when I talk about or think about the word community development, that encompasses a lot, right? For me, I look at it as 4 pillars. Community wellness, so having adequate health care, different resources, things of that nature to have a successful and thriving community. We do have a healthcare facility with the address Port Allen, but one would probably say that it's not necessarily on this side conducive to the citizens that live here. So again, when I think about community development, community wellness is a part that I like. And I think that we should, emphasize more focus on that to help grow and develop the community. Financial education. So a part of that community development is financial education. We've done a great job with establishing the facility with the trade school, but putting things in place to maximize that. Of course, you're going to have other citizens from different areas who come here to get a trade or improve their workforce development, but making sure that the citizens of Port Allen maximize that facility. Oftentimes we would say, hey, if I knew what I know now, back then I would be better off. So making sure that from a community development standpoint, we emphasize and put things in place as far as financial education. The more positive reinforcement that we provide to our youth, not only our youth, but our workforce people who may are still trying to figure it out, like, which way do I go? Do I go left or do I go right? But making sure that we have programs and different incentives in place as far as the financial education side of it. The next part of community development, from my perspective, is community outreach, which Ms. Rose has done a great job of doing events that's held and giving donations. But when I think of community outreach, I look at it from 2 aspects, from a business aspect and then from citizens. So locking on with businesses and saying, hey, look, how can we support you? How can we partner with you? the city of Baton Rouge did a facial and facade grant where the business had to spend $10,000 to upgrade the facade, and then they got a $5,000 grant. So being able to bring things like that to the city of Port Allen, again, we're talking about economic development. If we go 7 minutes down the street, we have neighboring communities on the same highway that doesn't look nothing like Port Allen, night and day. So again, from a community development aspect, incorporating things like that where we can lock on with our businesses and say, how can we support you? I know as a small business owner, having Mavericks Ice, one of the things is access to capital. You know, I finance that business with my own money. And now it's to the point where I'm like, look, I gotta figure out, you know, how to go and get access to capital for my business. I'm sure some of the audience, they have businesses and side hustles and things like that. It's tough being a small business owner. There's access to capital, there's capital out there, but implementing and putting something in place, whether it's getting DBE certified, disadvantaged businesses, going after some of those government contracts. We have the Super Bowl here, you know, and probably by a show of hands, if you ask, hey, how many of the citizens of Port Allen who has a business that pertaining to the Super Bowl was able to get one of those contracts? I guarantee it's probably going to be zero. But having things in place where we can go out and get those certifications so we can compete on a high level as well. And then from a citizens aspect, we have a riverfront property, you know, and I don't think that we're maximizing that riverfront property to our maximum capacity. And then having events like Ms. Adrain said, we're a community. All of this bickering and fighting and enough is enough. You know, when is it going to be enough? But having events that's inclusive of everybody and not just a certain demographic. Live After 5. You don't even have to call it Live After 5. It can be Rhythm on the River or whatever, but something highlighting the riverfront property that we have. Myra Richardson, if you guys don't know, 225 is. If you don't know about it, go research it. I've been a part of that event for 2 years. 30,000 people registered for that event. It's a 2-year-old event, not 10 years old. It's a 2-year-old event. I think we have to bring something to that capacity to the city of Port Allen. But again, doing things to where our businesses, not the same businesses, can get involved. You may have a company, the dentist office, that says, hey, look, I want to sponsor a dunking booth. Here's $10,000 or here, whatever. But again, partner with these businesses to say, hey, look, we have an opportunity. Can you, you know, for the people that patronize in the city, lock on and do business. And then after the community outreach, the last thing, which is real estate development, which is near and dear to my heart. I've been in real estate for 10 years, got into the mortgage industry about 8 years, and now I'm actively a real estate developer. I'm doing a project, 80 units in another community. I shouldn't have to go to other communities. I shouldn't have to go to other communities to do certain projects like this. No, I'm not saying I want to bring in 80 units to the city of Port Allen, but I want to be able to develop in my own community. And I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional because I'm passionate. But I shouldn't have to go to another community to say, hey, I'm going to bring in 80 houses to this community because I keep hearing the same issue. Infrastructure. We don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have that. Many of you know me, and I always operate at a high level. I always operate in excellence. And I want to be able to develop not in other communities, but I want to be able to bring development here to these communities. So these long-standing issues with infrastructure and just, I'm tired of hearing it. I've probably come to 3 or 4 meetings, so I know the public is tired of hearing it. What can we do to assist and to help? And if there are outside developers who come here, we have to do our research and not take what they say. One thing my dad always says, Saida, don't take no wooden nickel. So when you hear something, you go and you do your own research. So when that developer came and he said, oh, none of the rents are going to be affordable, I'm like, wait, how do you get government assistance money, the resilient fund, when I absolutely know that program guideline says 40% of the rent has to be at 60% AMI. All of the other rents have to be between 20 and 80% AMI. That's basic program guidelines. You know, so again, I'm all for rooftops. I'm real estate development. That's my heart. That's my passion. I don't want to have to continue to go to communities outside and do real estate development and not be able to do it here in the city of Port Allen. UREC is a company with the city of Mayor the city of Baker. So they did a project where they renovated houses, they got a grant, they renovated houses where either the person was disabled, elderly, some type of deficit the person had. We can do something like that here at the city of Port Allen. There's a lot of houses, literally I took an hour and drove around on a Saturday morning and took pictures of all these houses that had some type of hazard or some type of safety hazard. Again, use me till I'm blue in the face. Use me till I'm blue in the face. If you want me to go around and take pictures, if the inspector is out, whatever. Real estate development, that's my bread and butter. So we gotta figure it out. So
Okay, so.
that's it, that's my time. Okay. All right. You're either gonna be part of the problem or part of the solution. I need everybody to lock on to be part of the solution. Thank you. All right. Lock on.
Thank you.
Adjourn.
Call the Personnel Committee to order, establish a quorum, could we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Hubble.
Here.
Ms. Gordon.
Here.
Mr. Payne. Here. One present.
Item number 4, notification of rescheduling Monday, February 17, 2025, President's Day holiday to Monday, Lundy Gras on March 3rd, 2025. Mayor?
I just want to say one thing right quick to Ms. Saida. I have looked into some homes to fix and repair. A lot of them are tied into families, deceased relatives, and that kind of thing. So I am looking into that, but it's some red tape in a lot of it. So I just want to.
Yes, sir. We've had conversations, you've been great.
Right.
Listening to my rants and things.
Right.
I appreciate it.
So I wanted to, I felt like we're off from Mardi Gras, so, I'm sorry. Good evening, Council. Let me start over. So the President's Day is like 2 weeks away from Mardi Gras. So, I know it's been done in the past, so I was just asking if we could move the President's Day, holiday to Lundy Gras to have that Monday off, Monday and Tuesday in a row. Y'all would consider,
Okay.
put it as
Put
an
that as
agenda item.
item for next week.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am. Adjourn.
Finance, call to order, establish quorum, roll call,
Ms. Key.
Gary Hubble,
Ms. Key.
Adrian Joseph.
I'm sorry, I got you.
He's called.
Ms. Key.
Yes,
Present.
present.
Mr. Hubble.
Here.
Mrs. Joseph.
Here.
One's present. Now you can
Read for it.
Item number 4, hear from Gallagher regarding the upcoming health insurance renewal.
Charlene, how are you?
Hello, how are y'all this evening?
Good.
Good.
Good. I appreciate the opportunity to get to come up here and talk about City of Port Allen's benefits. I'm excited to meet the new council members, as well as our returning council members and our new mayor. My name is Kelly Elliott, and I am the senior client manager for City of Port Allen with Gallagher. We have handled your benefits for 4 years now. We took over in 2021. I have had the pleasure of working with Terecita that entire time. I will tell you, she is by far one of the hardest working in the business. She has been a complete pleasure to work with. And she just, does a ton to help us out and try to keep us, from getting a bunch of calls about different things. But we want to help her, so we always appreciate everything you do. So I wanted to talk about the benefits that we have for the upcoming year. Y'all are an April renewal, so your renewal was released in January. We send that out to shop with all the carriers. You're currently with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, or what is now Louisiana Blue. They rebranded themselves, so you'll hear both Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana and Louisiana Blue, but they are the same thing. So you did get your renewal for those benefits: the medical, the dental, the vision, the $25,000 paid life by the city, voluntary life, dependent life, and employer paid long-term disability. So y'all all got a folder that we passed out. So if you look on the left side of the folder, you'll see the big pages. And they're super big. That's because I had a point to where I couldn't really see anymore. So, and a lot of people love the big pages. So if y'all will go to the second page. I typically like to come with a little bit better news on the renewal. It was kind of a rough past year for the city. We did have a loss ratio of about 164%. So that means that Blue Cross paid out 164% in claims versus what was paid in premiums. So you did get what is considered on the higher end of Blue Cross's renewal. You got a 21% renewal increase with Blue Cross. You're really with the carrier you need to be in terms of renewals, because in bad claims years, this is pretty much the max you'll see. When we took over as the broker 4 years ago, you guys were getting a 46% increase with another carrier. So that just shows you the difference in how they work their renewals. But to go with Blue Cross, the city has what it's called Nonstop. And it's a medical expense reimbursement plan. It's the best benefits we've seen offered to our employees out there. Our municipalities are picking up on it. They're starting to offer it. Y'all been a little bit ahead of the game. You're entering year 3 now. Several other municipalities around you are going to be beginning year 2 and year 3 later on this year. But that Nonstop card comes in the form of a Visa card, which is loaded with the full out-of-pocket max. So basically, employees are going to doctors. They have surgeries. They're going into the hospital, having outpatient surgery, getting prescriptions filled. They use that Visa card to pay for everything. So that is how the plan works. The employees are coming out of pocket for zero. As long as it's covered with Blue Cross, then that Visa card will pay for it. So again, the best benefits out there that you can offer to your employees. It's just fantastic. And we have, quite a few groups that have started this benefit. We have not had one that has dropped the benefit. The employees year after year at renewal say we love it. Our employees love it. We want to keep it going. So Blue Cross originally released a 21% renewal. But you're not doing too bad with the Nonstop claims right now. So they lowered that overall renewal a little bit. So the overall renewal for Blue Cross and Nonstop is 17.7%. Looks a little bit scary when you hear about it. But when we took over for you guys 4 years ago, I did a comparison of where we were financially wise 4 years ago compared to where we are now. Now with this renewal, we are still $6,000 a month less than what the city is paying or was paying, which equals to $72,000 a year. So 4 years later, we're still coming in $72,000 under where you were at in 2021. I did pop up a couple of renewal options in there, just to briefly go over that. Like I said, the card that you get comes with the full out-of-pocket max. So it's $7,900 for an employee, $15,800 for a family. If you use that amount on that card, Blue Cross pays 100% after that. So again, the employee is not pulling any cash out of his or her wallet, credit card, not paying for anything out of pocket. The couple of options that I'm showing show where, for instance, if you look at renewal option 1, it says 1,000 back end. Well, instead of coming loaded with the $7,900 for the individual, it comes loaded with $6,900. So the employee is being covered for the first $6,900, but then is responsible for the last $1,000. If you look at those renewal options, it only brings the cost down just a little bit. I'd recommend for you to stay where you are just because the rate really, it's better for the employees to stay where they are. Again, we did shop this with the other carriers. We got declined by all the other carriers because they said we cannot compete with what you are currently offering. So they all declined to quote. So this is where we are in terms of the medical. I know I've thrown a lot at you in just a few minutes. But again, just to reiterate, we are still coming in $72,000 under where we were 4 years ago. So we're excited about that. So do y'all have any questions about the medical?
Never mind.
Is there something I'm leaving out there? Yes. Okay, so that's just on the medical. And then if you look on the right side real quick, I'm just going to briefly go through this. This is the smaller paper because we didn't need the larger paper. Your benefits are all with Blue Cross and Equitable. So if you have medical with Blue Cross and you have equitable benefits, then Blue Cross administers that all together. So it's Blue Cross and Equitable together that are doing all of your benefits. So if you look at the dental real quick, minimal increase, it's 2%, less than $1 per employee. It's going up a month. So that's a great renewal, pretty much the lowest that we see on the dental renewals. And Blue Cross is usually really good about the dental and the vision types of renewals. You really won't see much of an increase there. So that is where we're looking on the dental with a 2% increase. And then if you flip the page, that's our vision increase, going up 12 cents an employee. So 1.9% increase on the vision. Vision is in it will be a 2-year rate guarantee, so these rates will not change for vision next year. They will remain as they are right now. Dental is once a year, so you may see a renewal increase every year, sometimes not. And then if you flip to the next page, that is the $25,000 employer paid life that the city automatically enrolls every full-time eligible employee in. So we are getting a little bit of an increase there, but we have not gotten an increase on that life since I've been working with you guys, and I think Terry, you said you had never seen one as well either. So the 8% is the increase for the life. You also have dependent life that's available for $10,000 for spouse, $5,000 for child. We do have a couple that are on that now, but that's employee paid. But that is the $25,000 employer paid life. And then flipping to the next page, that is the voluntary life. We have a few employees on that. That'll go up to a $500,000 annual max, or not annual max, a $500,000 max or 5 times your salary. So we do have a few employees that are taking advantage of the extra life insurance if they want it. That is employee paid, so the city has no responsibility in that. That has no increase. And then the last page, this is our long-term disability. So this is also employer paid. This is getting a bit of an increase. So when I saw this, I said, I need to make a call. So I called our rep at Equitable and we had a long conversation about it. We did put this benefit in place 2 years ago. The employees were very excited about it because the city's paying for it and it's a great benefit to have. It is your paycheck insurance. So if something happens and you're out for an extended period of time, it covers 60% of your salary up to $6,000 a month. That goes all the way up to Social Security normal retirement age. So if you have someone, that is younger and they end up on long-term disability, then that benefit will carry them until Social Security. So I did ask why the increase. So when we wrote you guys with Equitable 2 years ago, Equitable was super aggressive. They said, we want them, they're with Blue Cross, we want all their benefits through Blue Cross. They gave us a reduction on the medical, would we move the dental, vision, and long-term disability over. So they were super aggressive in wanting y'all's business. So when I had this discussion with the rep, she said basically the increase is because they were so aggressive. Now they're trying to get more in line with what they see normally rate-wise. And the next renewal would be 2 years from now. And she said she said I wouldn't expect anything close to an increase like that again, just because they're getting you more in line. An issue with that is a lot of municipalities have a hard time getting disability to begin with because of the number of police officers. So some carriers are like, too many police officers, we're not even going to quote it. We had a couple bite the first year, and like I said, Equitable was super aggressive. Last year we sent it out to market again. Everybody else came back declining. So we did get this renewal from Equitable. What we did talk about is that maybe we pump the brakes on quoting it for just until the next renewal comes out, because if we continuously send this out to all the different carriers, they're going to come back and say, we quote it for you every year, you don't take it. And like I said, last year nobody bid on it. They all declined to quote it. So but that is where we stand on the benefits. Every year we come out and do open enrollment with the employees, and we're here to answer questions and just do anything we can to help.
You are now offering short-term disability?
So short-term disability is offered through our Aflac rep. Yes, ma'am. We offer short-term disability, critical illness, hospitalization. I mean, we have a big party on open enrollment days because we have a lot of people here, so. Any questions?
Questions?
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Ma'am? Would you say Mayor?
Agenda item to vote next week.
Yeah.
And just real quick, I know, like I said, I went through a lot in a short amount of time. So if any of y'all have any questions, feel free to go to Terecita and she'll contact us, or you can contact me yourself, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adjourn.
Okay, so Ms. Rose kind of went through what I wrote down. Save Our Sons Parade is Saturday at 1 p.m. If you're participating, lineup is at 12. Same route I think that they've had in the past. So we had a conference last week that went very well for all the councilmen and myself. Our attorneys were there. So we had a good time. So in the conversation with Mr. Hubble, Councilman Hubble, he had a suggestion. So I talked to Daryl about it. I don't know if he talked to you.
No.
Okay, so he suggested that we do a preventative cleaning of the drains before we need it, before the hurricane season comes. We just had the snowstorm that we've never really had before. So to utilize our vac truck that we have and that we've paid for. So we're going to break the city up into 4 parts and try to get our guys to go out and use the vac truck and start cleaning some of the drains just as a preventative measure. So I'm not sure how the 4 parts are going to go yet. Talk to Daryl. They have a lot going on right now with some leaks that they're trying to get fixed. We had to cut some customers off today to get that main line fixed, Oregon and 10th Street, I think, today. And then we had another one. I'm not sure the location of that one, but they should be working over to get all those done. So any questions?
Thank you for that.
All right, adjourn.